So, January is usually when most industries are quiet, but that's not what's been happening. PlayStation switched things up. Ubisoft hit the eject button again. Dragon Ball fans got fed and confused. And DC is still playing chess behind the scenes. If you missed the headline this week, don't worry, I got you. Let's talk. What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 24 of KB Talks, the show where gaming, movies, and anime all collide. I'm KB, and today's episode is stacked. Quick reminder before we jump in: Tuesdays and Saturdays, I will be live with gaming streams, so make sure you're locked in for those. Now, no wasted time, let's get into it. Let's kick things off with gaming because PlayStation just dropped the January PlayStation Plus lineup, and honestly, it's a mixed bag depending on what tier you're on. For PlayStation Plus Essential, available January 6th through February 2nd, here's what you're getting: Need for Speed Unbound, Disney Epic Mickey Rebrushed, Core Keeper. Those are the three games for the PS Plus Essential. If you like arcade racing, nostalgic platformers, or survival crafting, there's at least something here for you. Now, if Essential didn't quite do it for you, things get a little more interesting once you step up a tier. For PS Plus Extra, launching on January 20th, this is where the list starts to get real. You get Resident Evil Village, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Expeditions, a Mud Runners game, A Quiet Place, The Road Ahead, The Exit 8, Darkest Dungeon 2, Art of Rally, and A Little to the Left. That's a solid variety, big RPG energy, horror fans eating good, and some chill indie vibes mixed in. And then we get to Premium. For PS Plus Premium this month, it's just Ridge Racer. If you like classic racers, cool. If not, you're probably staying on Extra. Alright, that's PS Plus, but outside of subscriptions, the industry news this week got a little wild. First up, Ubisoft continues its What Are We Doing era. The Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake is officially one of 6 games canceled by Ubisoft. Yes, that remake again. I don't know what they're doing. I'm I'm a big fan of Prince of Persia. I don't know what they're doing. I'm a big fan of the Prince of Persia series. I like the original games. I didn't play the new one that came out, but I remember staying up on school nights to try to beat the original Prince of Persia. Now they were doing a remake. I don't know if it was gonna be like the original game because they don't really make platformers. They don't scratch that. They don't really make triple A platformers anymore. There's only a select few. But Ubisoft they really don't know what they're doing. Like, they got mass employees basically quitting all at the same time. Mad games canceled, even though they're like 90% done. I don't know what they're doing. I don't think anybody knows what they're doing, but they used to be they used to be held in such high regard up until they just start. I say up until after Assassin's Creed Black Flag. After that, that's when they went downhill. But other news, Fable is now targeting autumn 2026 and it's coming to everything except the Nintendo Switch. Now, I never played the original Fables. I've seen I've seen them, but I just never, for some reason, I just never decided to play it. This one looks good and it's a Microsoft game, so I'll give it a month when it drops. I'll wait a month because you can't really trust their brand new releases. They come out they almost like Bethesda, their games you gotta you can't get on release because they're always buggy. You gotta wait a while. So with this, I'll wait at least a month before getting it. Hopefully, it's a good game. It looks good enough for me to want to play, and I'm surprised that it's a Microsoft game, but they're putting it on PlayStation. It seems like they're putting all their new games on PlayStation, but we'll just have to wait and see. Then we get Bungie's Marathon arrives March 5th with a $40 price tag, which is interesting and probably intentional, all because they know damn well they better not charge $70. And then finally, Amazon Games confirmed that New World, I might butcher this, but at Aeternum, New World Aeternum will officially go offline January 31st, 2027. The MMO journey is coming to an end. Now, I'm kind of mad because I just recently started playing this game and I'm really having fun with it. I used the bow and arrow and can't remember. I used the bow and arrow and something else. I can't remember the secondary weapon I used, but I'm really enjoying that game right now, and seeing that they're about to put an end to it makes me not want to continue playing. But hopefully, I'll I'll try to continue playing. Hopefully, up until they shut it down. But this is one of my problems with every game being online because when they stop supporting it, just like Anthem, I, Anthem just went off. Anthem just went offline, and you can never play it again. That's that's my problem nowadays. Certain games, if it's always online, once they cut support, you can't play the game anymore. But that's it for gaming. Now, anime fans, this is where things get spicy. Let's talk Dragon Ball because the anniversary event dropped a lot of information, some exciting, some confusing, and some straight up controversial. First, the Galactic Patrol aka the Moro arc, is finally in production. So let's set the table. Dragon Ball Super has been in a weird spot. The manga kept going, but the anime went silent after the Tournament of Power. Then we got Superhero, which was cool, but still didn't move the main story forward. Now, with the Galactic Patrol arc moving into production, this is the first real sign that Super is ready to properly come back. And if you're wondering what exactly this arc is, don't worry, I've got you. I won't hit you with crazy spoilers. The Galactic Patrol arc introduces Moro, one of the more dangerous villains Dragon Ball has ever had. Not because he punches harder, not because he screams louder, but because he drains energy. Planets, life forms, entire system. Moro isn't trying to conquer, he's trying to consume. This arc expands the Dragon Ball universe in a way we haven't really seen before. Galactic Patrol actually matters. We get to see space politics, and Earth isn't the center of everything anymore. And that alone already separates this arc from a lot of past Dragon Ball storytelling. Moro works because he forces Goku and Vegeta to fight smart, not just harder. Ultra Instinct doesn't solve everything, raw power doesn't save the day, and transformations alone aren't enough. This arc brings back something Dragon Ball had early on, which is strategy. Moro feels closer to a Dragon Ball Z villain mixed with Dragon Ball lore, ancient, patient, and genuinely threatening. But the real standout here isn't Moro, it's Vegeta. The this arc gives Vegeta one of his best character moments in the entire franchise. No jokes, no exaggeration. We see Vegeta learning new moves and new abilities. I won't tell you what they are or what they're used for, but just know it comes in handy. But more importantly, Vegeta finally confronts the consequences of his past. Not gonna say where, but the people he destroyed and the damage he caused. This is growth, real growth, not just a new form. And this is exactly why anime only fans need this arc animated. If the Galactic Patrol arc is fully animated, this officially reopens the door for Dragon Ball Super as a long running series again. It bridges Tournament of Power, Superhero, and everything that comes after. It also sets the tone. Super isn't just about forms anymore, it's about world building. And yeah, I know the big question. There's no official release date yet, but production starting now usually mean storyboarding is happening, animation planning is underway. We're likely looking at late next year or beyond. And honestly, if this means better pacing and better animation, I'm cool waiting even longer. Me personally, I would like it. I would like them to use the animation style they use in Dragon Ball Super Broly, because to me that is peak Dragon Ball Z. That's what Dragon Ball looks like. And Dragon Ball Super also gave us something new while also keeping the original flavor of Dragon Ball Z. So the Galactic Patrol arc isn't just Dragon Ball Super coming back. It's Super leveling up. Better villains, better character writing, a bigger universe. If this arcs get the animation quality it deserves, we might finally be entering the best era of Dragon Ball Super yet. Anime only fans, trust me, you're nowhere near ready. They also gave us, with the announcement, like a little montage of Dragon Ball all the way to Superhero and Daima. Now, for it went, the beginning is, I believe it's only Dragon Ball, then Dragon Ball Z. I gotta rewatch to see if it's Super, but I can't wait for it to come out. I'll the whole animation was 5 minutes long, so I'll have it up on the screen for you guys to watch. But on top of that, we also got another announcement. Dragon Ball Super Beerus was announced with a fall 2026 release window. This is positioned as a remake project centered around the Battle of Gods portion of Super to match the manga. So we won't have the controversy of episode 5 of Dragon Ball Super. But they showed us clips which looks amazing. If this is the quality they're going for, I just know the the Beerus anime and whatever they give us afterwards, it's gonna be amazing. Now, before we go to the next part, I've seen a bunch of people talking about Dragon Ball Super Beerus means that we're also getting the other arcs. I must have missed it somewhere, but maybe they're looking at leaks. But me right now, I think we're only getting Dragon Ball Super Beerus. But I would love for them to do every arc over and just to build up to the Moro arc. I hope they. I I wish they used the art style from Dragon Ball Super Broly, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like they're sticking to the style they chose for Dragon Ball Super, the anime, but we'll just have to wait and see. Now, here's where things get awkward. When Dragon Ball Super The Galactic Patrol was announced, all credit went to Akira Toriyama. No mention of Toyotaro at all. But I think years prior to this, Toyotaro himself said, after the Tournament of Power arc, I wrote the Galactic Patrol Prisoner arc on my own. Maybe he got. I feel like he wrote it on his own and then Toriyama just approved, just gave him the go ahead. Um, I figured they didn't mention Toyotaro at all because they didn't mention the Dragon Ball Super manga. If it's continuing, or I feel like they're trying to stay away from all that, so they didn't mention Toyotaro or the manga, the Dragon Ball Super manga specifically. I noticed whenever they talk about it, they said like Dragon Ball Z, or Super manga, but they just, for some reason, they just never mentioned Toyotaro at all, and I think he should have been mentioned. Like like in the picture, it you could have just put somewhere to the side, helped by Toyotaro, but I do believe he should have been mentioned. But a bunch of fans noticed, and the conversation is far from over. I've seen people talking about it for days now. But that's not all. Dragon Ball wasn't done. We got a brand new Dragon Ball project titled Age 1000. And honestly, this might be huge. Most people are guessing it's either one of two things. It might be Xenoverse 3 or a successor to Dragon Ball Online. Now, I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm kind of leaning more towards Xenoverse 3. Don't really I don't really think they would do something like this for Dragon Ball Online, but maybe they could do a MMO for Dragon Ball, but I don't think that's their plan. Here's what we know so far. The character designs are by the late great Akira Toriyama. It's been in development for 6-7 years. Apparently, it has more content and settings than any previous Dragon Ball game ever. We get brand new, never before seen characters. It's set in Dragon Ball World year 1000. That's another reason why people are saying it might be related to Dragon Ball Online, because Dragon Ball Online is set in the year 1000. And we also learned that it's planned for 2027. Probably late 2027. And they said we'll get more detail at Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour 2026 this April. But I'm really excited for it. I'ma always give every Dragon Ball game a shot just because it's Dragon Ball. But before we leave anime and manga news, let's hit the picks of the week. The manga of the episode goes to Chronicles of the Demon Faction. If you're looking for dark fantasy energy with solid world building, this one is worth your time. I believe it's easily over 150 chapters. You can get lost in it just catching up. It I won't give spoilers so you have surprises to look for. I'll just tell you it's another is it reincarnation? Yeah, it's a it's another reincarnation story where the main character dies, and then this one doesn't start from a baby. He starts as like he wake up in a body of the third disciple of the demon lord. But you guys can check it out, find out more. I really think it's enjoyable, so you guys should really check it out. Now, the comic of the episode is Spider-Man Holiday Spectacular #1. It's festive, light-hearted, and focuses on Peter Parker dealing with being alone during the holidays until other heroes step in. It's a great reminder that Marvel can still tell fun, character driven stories without everything needed to be world ending. Listen, I'm I'm I know for a fact right now I'm reading more DC comics than Marvel, but I've I've read this and I really enjoyed it. I kind of want more stories like this, but the my problem is I only read basically the Spider-Man stuff. And the things they're doing with Spider-Man is not great. Right now I'm enjoying what they're doing with Miles, but what they're doing with Peter isn't great. But I read this story and I'm like, this is what I wanted. It shows because for some reason Marvel has it out for where most characters find Peter annoying. I don't know why, but this one it shows like they really care for him. But that's my pick for comic of the episode. So once again, the manga of the episode is Chronicles of the Demon Faction, and the comic book of the episode is Spider-Man Holiday Spectacular #1. And with that, let's head to Hollywood because DC has been talking. First up, Christina Hodson is officially writing Batman the Brave and the Bold with Andy Muschietti still set to direct. Now, I've seen people going crazy because if you don't know who she is, she's the writer for the Flash movie, Birds of Prey movie, and Bumblebee. People don't think she has a good track record, but I I feel like I liked the Flash movie, but it could have been way better in my opinion, but I'll I'll just have to have faith in James Gunn. I'm not really I don't know what made him pick her even though she only has 4 movies under her belt. I would have liked to see somebody with a nice long diverse track record, but we just gotta believe in James Gunn. And then Andy Muschietti is still set to direct, but who knows if that's gonna change. We've seen Sam Raimi come out saying he wanted to direct the Batman movie. So if I was James Gunn, I would swap that out. But James Gunn and Peter Safran, they have a vision for their DC universe. We just gotta wait and see it unfold. But James Gunn also jumped on threads and answered a ton of questions. So here's the clean breakdowns. All rumors about Batman and Wonder Woman auditions are false. He didn't have anybody come in to audition for Batman or Wonder Woman. Next up, Man of Tomorrow, big news was Brainiac. Most of the cast members are already established. Then he told us we're not getting no updates for The Brave and the Bold until the script is finished. He also doesn't want 2 Batman movies released in the same year. So, Brave and the Bold isn't coming at least until the Batman 2 comes out. Then we got multiple DCU projects are close to being greenlit. One already is. Then he says the dynamic duo movie is not being rewritten to be in the DCU. So he still has a vision that will get side movies that's not in the main continuity of the universe. So like stuff like Joker, the Batman 2 and other movies. Then he goes on to say Batman and Wonder Woman are not in Man of Tomorrow. And that kind of hit me on the inside. I thought I thought it would have been cool. Maybe we get to see Bruce Wayne or Diana, but he says neither are in the film. But he says a female role is being cast, which caused confusion. Uh, for for Man of Tomorrow, Sam McCurdy is the cinematographer for the movie. Then he says we're not getting Clayface trailers for at least a few months. I don't know what he considers few. Maybe we get it before Supergirl comes out, since that's the first DC project coming out this year. But then James Gunn finishes and said he's going back to work on storyboards. Now, Man is Tomorrow is already done. So, what storyboards are he working on? Those are those are all the questions he answered. Everybody, that's the main thing everybody asked about was Man of Tomorrow, Batman and Wonder Woman, and different DC projects. And finally, this one is for the gamers. Max Parker has officially been cast as Heimdall in the live action God of War series. And honestly, that's a pretty solid pick. I know Heimdall isn't in God of War 2018. He shows up in Ragnarok. But I feel like they casted him now to lay groundwork for I don't cuz I got to imagine this is a two two to I think this is going to be a 2 to 4 season show, maybe 5 at most. But I'm trying to this is hard. I'm trying to imagine like because the episodes is a low I believe it's like a 8 to 10 episode run. The first season is expected to be 10 episodes. Production production is expected to begin in 2026. But I'm a huge God of War fan, so I definitely will be watching. Can't wait to see what it is. How how good the show is. I'm a little iffy because The Boys is good. Invincible is good. But me personally, I would have preferred this to go to HBO Max because to me that's guaranteed good. But that's the full rundown. Gaming, anime, movies, and television. We got big moves, surprising decisions, and a lot of setup for what's coming next. 2026 isn't easing up at all. Thanks for hanging out with me. This is KB Talks, the place where gaming, anime, movies collide. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.